You lost your video, sir. Yes, now we got back.
Hari Om. Hari Om, Namaste to all. Prostrating at the lotus feet of Brahmanishta Sadguru, Swami Virajeshwara, Saraswati, and the entire Guru Parampara on behalf of all of us. Today's discourse on Viveka Chudamani will continue. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Shri Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananamayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham Om Nama Bhagavate Virajeshwaraya Hari Om. Last time we had stopped at the shloka number 407, verse number 407. From that verse onwards, the next set of verses, Acharya is explaining the real significance of the realization. In other words, the significance, the importance, and the purpose of the life fulfilled about realizing one's true nature. In other words, again, Atmajnana or Brahmajnana. So, by the direct perceiving, directly experiencing the real nature of who I am, that I am is the Pratyagatma Swarupa, Atma Swarupa inside this body, in the body-mind complex. It is totally nothing to do with the body-mind complex. And it is this Pratyagatma itself is that Parama Chaitanya, Paramatma, Ishvara himself. So absolutely there is no difference between the Pratyagatma inside and the Paramatma, ever pervading, eternal, all the time, Sarvatra, Sarva Vibhu. Now, in the same point, he goes on explaining, Acharya Shankara Bhagavatpada goes on explaining in different verses with a different meters. You know, last time, the last two charanas of the last shloka, I repeat once again, Acharya Bhagavatpadaru Atmajnanada Nirupaneya ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದ ಒಂದು ಮಹತ್ವ, ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ನಿರ್ವಿಕಲ್ಪ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಉತ್ತಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷು, ಒಬ್ಬ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸು, ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಗೊಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾನೆ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನುವುದನ್ನೇ ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಬರುವ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ನಿರವಧಿ ಗಗನಾಭಂ ನಿಷ್ಕಲಂ ನಿರ್ವಿಕಲ್ಪಂ ಹೃದಿ ಕಲಯತಿ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಪೂರ್ಣಂ ಸಮಾಧೌ. The two last charanas of the previous shloka, last time it was explained. Niravadi gaganabham nishkalam nirvikalpam hrudi kalayati vidwan brahmapurnam samadhau. Brahmapurnam samadhau hrudi kalayati vidwan. ದ ವರ್ಡ್ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್, ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮೋತ್ತಮನಾದಂತಹ ಆ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನ್ನ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಗಳಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೃದಯ ಕಲಯತಿ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಪೂರ್ಣ ಸಮಾಧೌ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏಕಾಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಏಕಾಗ್ರತೆಯಿಂದ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಆ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವಸ್ತುವಿನ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ, ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನೇ ಪ್ರಕಟಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾನೆ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಚಾರ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾನುಭೂತಿ, ಆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದ ನೇರ ಅನುಭವ, ಅಪರೋಕ್ಷ ಅನುಭವ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಪ್ರಶಾಂತವಾದಾಗ ಆಳವಾದ ಗಾಢವಾದ ಸಮಾಧಿಯಲ್ಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಇಸ್ all the time repeatedly is stressing on the point that in the deep samadhi state, the realization like a flash, it occurs within the heart cave again by the grace of Sadguru or by the grace of Lord himself. Sadguru or Paramatma, one and the same. So always at the back we should remember what Acharya is telling here again and again. Entering into Samadhi itself is an effort, as we can say, but it is not actually our effort. The final stages of the Samadhi state happens effortlessly by the grace of Guru or God. By the grace of Guru or God. Here, the important point to remember for all of us, very important point. Is in the Mandukya first chapter, Advaita, Sri Gaudapadacharya, the Paramacharya, explains one subtle point. In Mandukya Upanishad, in the very first chapter, Advaita, what we should remember as an all of I do when any spiritual aspirant automatically enters into the deep samadhi state during deep meditative mood, when the one meditation like a flash to cut down your powerful. There are several obstacles is when our Gurudev used to say, not be so, our Gurudacharya says, there are several obstacles. Most important, there are the 4 obstacles coming in the way of Samadhi. Number 1 is Laya. Samadhi ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಘ್ನಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೌಡಪಾದಾಚಾರ್ಯರು ಮಂಡುಕ್ಯ ಕಾರಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶದವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಂಡುಕ್ಯ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತಿನ ಮಂಡುಕ್ಯ ಕಾರಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಪ್ರಕರಣದ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯ ಅದ್ವೈತ ಪ್ರಕರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಿದೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಮೊದಲನೇ ವಿಘ್ನ ಲಯ, ಎರಡನೇ ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿಕ್ಷೇಪ, ಮೂರನೇ ವಿಘ್ನ ಕಷಾಯ, ನಾಲ್ಕನೇ ವಿಘ್ನ ರಸಾಸ್ವಾದ. 4 ರೀತಿಯ ವಿಘ್ನಗಳು ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸುವಿಗೆ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಪಡೆಯುವ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟಾಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ 4 ವಿಘ್ನಗಳು, 4 ರೀತಿಯ ಬಾಧೆಗಳು: ನಿದ್ರೆ, ವಿಕ್ಷೇಪ, ಕಷಾಯ ಮತ್ತು ರಸಾಸ್ವಾದ. So the 4 types of obstacles we encounter during samadhi state. When we are trying to meditate with one-pointed concentration, when we are trying to enter into deep samadhi, sitting quietly in ekanta, in solitude. So the number 1, the first obstacle vighna is nidra. That is laya. Laya means sleep. Second obstacle vikshepa. Third obstacle kashaya. Fourth obstacle rasaswada. So what is laya? When we are sitting and trying to do meditation, what happens sometimes, in most of the cases, there is a sort of a spell. So without our knowledge, while sitting, closing our eyes, we start sleeping. Our mind, this body complex, enters into sleepy mode, perfect sleepy mode while sitting. That is what Bhagavatpada says, laya. So that is the first step. We will not be doing any meditation. We will be actually enjoying the sleep. Very sensitive, subtle sleep. The sleep pattern takes over. Obstacle, vikshepa, everyone. The worst like doing meditation. The moment we little longer, full of all types of this world, mind goes towards those vasanas, all thoughts, the desires, our innate desires, they come out in force. Mind, gets entangled in those vasanas. You'll be thinking on so many things, one after another. They may be lustful desires, sensuous desires, the desires of achieving something, or thinking about the crisis, whatever. The mind is full of thoughts. There is vikshepa. Third one, kashaya. This is the third important obstacle Sri Gaudapadacharya significantly informs all of us. This will never be felt. It is so subtle. What is it? Kashaya. Kashaya is one of the important obstacles for the samadhi, because kashaya means the deep-seated, the deep-rooted, unmanifested, our desires in the seed form in the chitta, stored as impressions in our memory from so many births, so many from previous births, so many unfulfilled desires. In the seed form, they are embedded in our chitta or memory. Chitta or memory. They are always there, deep-seated, until they are removed, what is meant in Vedantic parlance called vasanakshaya. If all the vasanas persist unnoticingly, subtly in the mind or chitta, that is called kashaya. Mind is impure, kashaya means impurities of the mind or chitta. After the fourth level obstacle if you get over all the three levels of obstacles said so far, the fourth level obstacle during Samadhi state, a spiritual aspirant may encounter. That is rasaswada. Gaudapada cautions what is rasaswada. While you are meditating, while entering into Samadhi state, rasaswada means, the mind, like a lullaby, it starts itself feeling joyous, pleasurable. There is a sort of happiness. The happiness is coming because the mind is aware that you are sitting do it by the mind itself, sitting very beautifully in the meditative state. You are doing the dharma, which others are not at all bothered. Others are not even, they are thinking on that, and you are the person, you are enjoying this, you are being benefited by this, you are the chosen one, so that you are graced by the Guru, you are the one graced by the God. All such feelings will generate, a fountain of happiness, a fraction of happiness, fountain of happiness, whatever you call words. So the mind, feels exalted. The mind feels elated. Rasa aswada, rasa aswada, rasa aswada, rasa aswada. So you enjoy the meditation. You are enjoying the meditation. That is the real culprit. That is the real obstacle for samadhi. So all these feelings generated represent that your mind is active, your ego, subtle ego is active. Ahankara is there, mana is there, along with chitta and buddhi. So we have to take care of all these things. Gaudapada says in the Mandukya. That is how Samadhi state is so difficult for all of us to attain. It can happen only by the grace of Guru and by our constant perseverance, constant determination, constant effort, and total surrender at the lotus feet of the Guru or the God. It is only the Sadguru or God who can remove all these obstacles and help the individual entity to enter into Samadhi. So that at one particular moment, by the grace of Guru or Lord, reality will flash. The real nature, which was obscured, which was covered all the time, will come out. It is a digression here. The next, Prakriti Vikriti shown. Prakriti Vikriti Shonyam Bhavanatita Bhavam Samarasam Asamanam Manasambandhaduram Nigama Vachana Siddham Nityam Asmat Prasiddham Hrudi Kalayate Vidwan Brahma Purnam Samadho. Again, the last charana, he is explaining. Vidwan Hrudi Kalayati Brahma Purnam Samadho. In the Samadhi state, Vidwan, the Jnani, will realize his own Atman, his own Pratyeka, Hrudi Kalayati. So, this attributes or the Acharya is giving here what cannot be explained. He is explaining that Brahmajnani, that nature of realization, significance of realization. What is that? Prakriti Vikruti Shunyam Avanatita Bhavam Samarasam Asamanam Manasam Bandhadoram Nigama Vachana Siddham Nityam Asmat Prasiddham Prutikalayati Vidwan Brahmapurnam Samadhau. Andre ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಕಾರಣಗಳ ಭಾವ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗೂ ದೂರಾದಂತಹ ಸ್ವಭಾವವುಳ್ಳ ಏಕರಸವಾದ ಅನುಪಮವಾದ ಪ್ರಮಾಣಕ್ಕೆ ಅತೀತವಾದಂತಹ ವೇದವಾಕ್ಯಗಳು ಅಂದರೆ ಶ್ರುತಿಗಳಿಂದ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ ಮಹಾವಾಕ್ಯಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧವಾದ ಪ್ರಕಟವಾದಂತಹ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನಾನು 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 ಎಂಬ ಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧವಾದಂತಹ ಆ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣವಾದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯು ಸಮಾಧಿಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೃದಯಾಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರಗೊಳಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೃದಯಾಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸುತ್ತಾನೆ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ the jnani, the learned one, the wise one, will realize in his heart during samadhi state that indefinable Parabrahma, Parama Chaitanya, that Paripurna Chaitanya, that Brahma Vastu, Brahma Padartha, of the nature of devoid of any cause and effect relationship. It is unvarying nature, unmoving nature. It is incomparable, incomprehensible, cannot be understood, cannot be described. It is beyond all canons of the knowledge. It cannot be explained at all. Such Paripurna, Ekarasa, Parabrahma Vastu, and which is vehemently declared, established by repeatedly Mahavakyas of Shrutis, Upanishads. Such a Brahma Padartha, Parabrahma Vastu, Atma Vastu, the Vidwan, the Jnani, will realize in his own heart. That is the point here. Next, similar shloka, he further explains. Ajaram amaram asta bhasa vastu swarupam stimita salila rashi prakhyam akhyavinam Shamita guna vikaram shashvatam shantamekam Rudri kalayati vidwan brahma purnam samadhau. Ajaram amaram asta bhasa vastu swarupam stimita salila rashi prakhyam akhyavinam Shamita guna vikaram shashvatam shantamekam Rudri kalayati vidwan brahma purnam ಸಮಾಧೌ. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು, ಅನೇಕ ರೀತಿಯ ಪದಪುಂಜಗಳಿಂದ ವಿಶೇಷಣಗಳಿಂದ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವಸ್ತು, ಆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ವಸ್ತು, ಆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸುವಿಗೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅಜಂ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲದ, ಅಮರಂ ಸಾವಿಲ್ಲದ, ಮುಪ್ಪಿಲ್ಲದ ಸಾವಿಲ್ಲದ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆಭಾಸ ವಸ್ತು ಅಸ್ತ, ಆಭಾಸ ವಸ್ತು ಸ್ವರೂಪಂ ಅಸ್ತಂ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ತೋರಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಉಪಾಧಿರಹಿತವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಶಾಂತವಾದ ಸಮುದ್ರದ ಹಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ನಾಮರಹಿತವಾದ ನಿರ್ಗುಣವಾದ ನಿರ್ವಿಕಾರವಾದ ಶಾಶ್ವತವಾದ ಶಾಂತವಾದ ಅದ್ವಿತೀಯವಾದಂತಹ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯು ಸಮಾಧಿಯ ಮೂಲಕ ತನ್ನ ಹೃದಯಾಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾರೆ. So once again, Acharya says, so the jnani at the highest level in the deep samadhi state, in that nirvikalpa samadhi state, again by the grace of Guru, again the understood point, by the grace of the Sadguru or God, he will realize that his own Atmaswarupa. He will realize his own real nature. He will realize means he will obtain, not necessarily again from outside, it's already there. Only thing, he will reconnect what he had forgotten. So we say he will realize himself. Paripurna Jnana. That Parabrahma Vastu he will realize in his own heart, which that Brahma Padartha, that Brahmajnana, that Brahma Vastu, that Paramatma Vastu, that is Ajaram Amaram Asthabhasa Vastu Swarupam Stimita Salila Rashi Praksham Akshya Vihinam. How is it? It is something like it is immortal without any decay, free from ajnana or any upadhis. It is unmoving. It is vast expanse like a vast ocean where the water is still without any waves, without any movement. It is Shamita Guna Vikaram. It is totally devoid of attributes, devoid of Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. It is Gunatita. It is Nirguna. It is Nirakara. Shashvatam, Shantam, Ekam. It is eternal. It remains as it is without any change, without any parts. It is Akhanda. It is not divided into any different parts. It is partless, divisionless, motionless. Akhanda, Shantam, totally still, without any vikalpa. Ekam is always the only one vastu, Sat Vastu. So that what is there only one, Parama Advaita Sthiti. Ekam eva advitiyam. There is no second. There is only one Sadvastu, Brahma Padartha, Paripurna Brahma, Parabrahma Vastu. That he will experience in his own heart. That is called enlightenment. That is called realization. So he will realize his true nature, who he is. He is no more the body, no more the mind. He is beyond all these things. He is that Brahmavastu. He is that Atmaswarupa. That Atmaswarupa is nothing but Paramatma Swarupa. Samahita Antakarana Swarupe Vilokayatmanam Akhanda Vaibhavam Vichindi Bandham Bhavaganda Gandidam Yatnena Pumstvam Safali Kurushva. Samahita Antakarana Swarupe Vilokayatma Atmanam Akhanda Vaibhavam Vichindi Bandham Bhavaganda Ganditam Yatnena Pumstvam Safali Kurushva. Here, ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಪರಮ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಆತನಿಗೆ ಆಶ್ವಾಸನೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆತನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಿಚ್ಛಿಂದಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಲಾತ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ, ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧವಾದ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಿಂದ ಕತ್ತರಿಸುವ ಈ ಭವಬಂಧ, ಸಂಸಾರ ಬಂಧವನ್ನ ನೀನು ಸ್ವಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಿಂದ ಕತ್ತರಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಲಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ. ಪುಂಸ್ತ್ವಂ ಸಫಲೀಕುರುಷ್ವ ಯತ್ನೇನ. ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ ಯತ್ನೇನ ಪುಂಸ್ತ್ವಂ ಸಫಲೀಕುರುಷ್ವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಛಲದಿಂದ, ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಗುರಿ ಮುಟ್ಟುವ ಆ ಒಂದು ಏಕಾಗ್ರತೆಯ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಿಂದ, ಯತ್ನೇನ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ, ಪುಂಸ್ತ್ವಂ ನಿನ್ನ ಪುರುಷಾರ್ಥವನ್ನ ಸಫಲೀಕುರುಷ್ವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೀನು ಸಾರ್ಥಕಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಶಿಷ್ಯ. ಇದು ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಆದೇಶ. ಸೊ ದ ಕೀ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಶ್ಲೋಕ, Acharya is telling that Vichindi Bandham Bhavaganda Ganditam. Vichindi, Acharya tells the Shishya, you have to cut totally this samsara bandhana, this maya bandhana yourself with all the great effort and determination and perseverance and with patience. Should not lose your heart. It is so difficult. Don't be undermining your capability. Don't be disheartened. With great effort, perseverance, you have to do all your efforts. Vichindi bandham bhavaganda ganditam. You have to cut asunder this, the samsara bandhan, this maya of samsara. You have to do it. How? He says in the beginning two charanas, samahita antakarana swarupe vilokayatmanam akhanda vaibhavam vichindi bandham bhavaganda ganditam yatnena pumstam sabali kurushu. Clearly perceive the experience of the infinite Atma, the infinite glory of the Atma. Samahita antakarana vilokayatmanam akhanda vaibhavam. Akhanda vaibhavam vilokaya atmanam akhanda vaibhavam. You have to perceive, you have to experience the eternal, shining, infinite glory of the Atman, your own Atman, inside your own heart cave. Cut off the bonds of all the vasanas of samsara by effort. You have, by earnest effort, you have to try to cut off all the desires, vasanas, the vikalpas, your mind, they're all dragging towards samsara, worldly life, worldly affairs, worldly pressure. Your desires are always to obtain so many things in life. Cut down, cut down, cut down, cut down, Acharya. Worldly pleasures, the pursuit of worldly happiness will take you away from the primary goal, Parama Purushartha. What is the primary goal? To know really who I am first. Not the status or the name of this body, but really who I am. That is our Parama Purushartha to be achieved in the life. So concentrate on it. Give up the vasanas of samsara, desires, and achieve that Purushartha. Yatnena pumstvam sapali purush. Your human birth, Acharya repeatedly says. Elsewhere also he has stated. All Mahatmans have stated. The primary purpose of the human life, which is a precious primary purpose of human life, which is so difficult to obtain, is to realize our true potential. Once we know really who we are, then what happens? This cycle of birth and death in which we are caught up, it is cut once for all. So this will be the last birth. This will be the last human birth. So after the death of the body, there is no more rebirth. You are not born again, either animal or human, whatever it is, according to karma. So all the sanchita karmas, once automatically they are vanished. Once realization dawns in, even the prarabdha will vanish once the realization dawns in. So the karma shesha vanishes once the realization dawns in. So then what happens? It is janmarahitya sthiti. It is what is called jivan mukta state. You become totally liberated while still living in the body. And after the death, it is called videha mukti. So you are becoming a total mukta, free, eternally free. You are that free Atma Swarupa. You are that Paripurna Parabrahma Swarupa, eternal. So that there is no rebirth. You don't come back. You don't come back. You don't come back. That is the point here, Acharyas. Because here, Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami, while explaining the shloka in his bhashya, he quotes extensively the Shruti Vakyas, Upanishad Vakyas. What is that? According to Mahaswami, he writes, even the Upanishads declare very clearly all these points repeatedly in so many mantras, Mahavakyas. There is a famous Shruti, Mahaswami writes. There is a famous Shruti here. Yallabhanna paro labho yat sukhanna param sukham yad bodhanna paro bodha tatad brahmi brahmaiti avadharaya. Brahmaiti avadharaya. That is one of the famous Shrutis, Upanishad Vachanas. Yallabhanna paro labho yat sukhanna param sukham yad bodhanna paro bodha tatad brahmaitya avadharaya. Brahma iti avadharaya. So what the Shruti says here, Mahaswami explains. According to this Upanishad Mahavakya, what is the most significant gain, labha? That is Atma labha. Atma darshan is the most significant gain. That is a Parama Purusha. Atma labha is the most significant gain. That is our goal, Parama Uddesha in life. So when this is obtained, when Brahmajnana dawns in, when Atmajnana dawns in, when realization dawns in, that is the greatest gain in the life. Once this greatest gain happens, what else is there in the life to gain or to obtain? When you obtain the greatest, you don't aspire for other small things, small gain. Yallabhan na paro labha. Yat sukhan na param sukham. When you obtain the greatest happiness, greatest, unimaginable, uncount, the happiness, are you bothered about small things in life? The entire superlative happiness is in your hand. Then you are not bothered about the small happiness or the individual events at all in life. Yat sukhanna param sukham, yat bodhanna paro bodha, satat brahma iti avadharaya. That knowledge, what you gain, what you obtain by the grace of God or Guru, that knowledge of Atman, once you obtain that Brahmajnana, once you obtain the Atma Sakshatkar, once you obtain the divine greatest of the greatest knowledge, what is there with the other forms of Vidya, other forms of knowledge? You have to do with that. You are at least bothered. Yat bodhonna paro bodha, satat brahmeti avadharaya. So with that, always remain that you are that Parabrahma Swarupa, avadharaya. That is one Shruti Vakya Mahaswami quotes here. Another Shruti Vakya Mahaswami writes here, Atmalabhanna param kinchid asti. Atmalabhanna param kinchid asti. That means Atmalabhat na param kinchit asti. Atmalabhakkinta, Brahmajnanakkinta, Parama Pavitravada, Swarupa Jnanakkinta, ಬೇರೆಯ ಯಾವುದೇ ಲಾಭ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದ ಲಾಭದ ಮುಂದೆ ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿ ಸಮಾನ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಮಲಾಭಾನ್ನ ಪರಂ ಕಿಂಚಿದಸ್ತಿ. There is nothing in the life which can surpass or even come nearer to the greatest of the greatest wealth, so the knowledge called Brahmajnana, once you obtain. So once you perceive Brahmajnana, that is the wealth of the wealth, supermost, superlative, whatever words fail here. So nothing can be compared to the level of Atmajnana. There is no other wealth, worldly wealth, which can come near Atmajnana. That is what it is. And Mahaswami quotes here even the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, he quotes here Bhagavad Gita. Etad buddhya, etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutaकृत्यस्य Bharata. Etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutaकृत्यस्य Bharata. Krishna says, look, Arjuna, what is to be obtained, Parama Purushartha, that is Brahmajnani, Atma Sakshatkar. Once it is obtained, once you realize the Atma Swarupa, you become Krutakrutya. Everything is accomplished in the life. There is nothing more to achieve in life. You become Krutakrutya. Krutakrutyaschya Bharata. So these explanatory notes given by Mahaswami is to explain the significance of what Acharya says. ನಿನ್ನ ಸ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಃಕರಣವನ್ನ ನೆಲೆಸಿ ಅಖಂಡ ವೈಭವವುಳ್ಳ ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನ ನೀ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರಗೊಳಿಸಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಂಸಾರ ವಾಸನೆಯಿಂದ ಉಂಟಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬಂಧವನ್ನ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಿಂದ ಸಂಸಾರ ಬಂಧವನ್ನ ನೀನು ಕತ್ತರಿಸು, ಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನ ಪುರುಷತ್ವವನ್ನು ಸಾರ್ಥಕಪಡಿಸು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ. ಯತ್ನೇನ ಪುಂಸ್ತ್ವಂ ಸಫಲೀಕುರುಷ್ವ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ಸರ್ವೋಪಾಧಿ ವಿನಿರ್ಮುಕ್ತಂ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಂ ಅದ್ವಯಂ ಭಾವಯಾತ್ಮನಾತ್ಮಸ್ಥಂ ನ ಭೂಯ ಕಲ್ಪಸೇ ಧ್ವನೇ. ಸರ್ವೋಪಾಧಿ ವಿನಿರ್ಮುಕ್ತಂ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಂ ಅದ್ವಯಂ ಭಾವಯಾತ್ಮಾನಂ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ಥಂ ನ ಭೂಯ ಕಲ್ಪಸೇ ಧ್ವನೇ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ದಟ್, ಕಲ್ಪಸೇ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಧ್ವನಿ, ನ ಭೂಯಃ ಕಲ್ಪಸೆ ಅಧ್ವನಿ. So what here Acharya says in the short shloka, sarvopadi vinirmuktam satchidanandam advayam bhavayatmanam atmastham. That means atmastham atmanam bhavaya. ಸಮಸ್ತ ರೀತಿಯ ಉಪಾಧಿಗಳಿಂದ ಮುಕ್ತನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅದ್ವಿತೀಯನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆ ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನ ನಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ, ನಿನ್ನ ಒಳಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರಗೊಳಿಸು. ಭಾವಿಸು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭಾವಯ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರಗೊಳಿಸು, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ, ಅದನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸು, ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ನೀನು ಅರ್ಪಿಕೋ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಪುನಃ ಪುನಃ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀನು ಈ ಸಂಸಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂದಿರುಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಭೂಯಃ ಅಧ್ವನೇನ ಕಲ್ಪಸೆ. ಭೂಯಃ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಂಸಾರಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಧ್ವನೇ ಸಂಸಾರ, ನ ಕಲ್ಪಸೆ ಪುನಃ ಪ್ರಯಾಣಿಸುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಕ್ತನಾಗಿ ಬಿಡ್ತೀಯ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಜನ್ಮವಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಜನ್ಮರಾಹಿತ್ಯ. ಇದೇ ಕೊನೆಯ ಜನ್ಮ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ನೀನು ಜೀವನ್ ಮುಕ್ತ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಕೃಷ್ಣನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಭಾವಯ ಆತ್ಮಾನಂ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ಥಂ ನ ಭೂಯ ಕಲ್ಪಸೆ ಧ್ವನಿ. So what Acharya says here, when you are meditating deeply on the Atman, which is inside you only, in the Pratyagatma Swarupa, that Atman is inside you only in the cave of the heart. It is beyond, devoid of all upadhis. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam Satchidanandam Advayam. It is Satchidananda Swarupa, it is Advaya. There is no second. It is the only Eka Vastu, Akhanda Vastu. Ajara Amara, Satchidananda Swarupa. It is Sat Swarupa, Chit Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa. It is nothing but the pure existence, nothing but the pure knowledge, that is awareness, and nothing but the pure bliss, Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. So that such a Atma Swarupa, such Pratyagatma, Atmastham Bhavaya, you experience firsthand in your own heart, within yourself. then what happens? Bhuyaha adhvanena kalpase. Then you will never return back to samsara. You will never come back to samsara. You escape from the cycle of life and death. Once the realization happens, you become a realized Jivan Mukta. Once the death occurs to the body, you are not reborn. You don't come back to samsara. You don't come back to samsara. Mahaswami again writes here the commentary explanation on this, taking again the Gita Vachanas by Lord Krishna and also Upanishad Vakyas. Mahaswami writes here to this sloka. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Abrahma bhavana lokaha punaravartino arjuna. Abrahma bhavana loka punaravartino arjuna. Gita. Lord says to Arjuna. That means what? Right from the highest level of Brahma Loka or Satya Loka, even if you enter that highest abode after death, all these dimensions, lokas, again, you have to come back to earth once again in the form of rebirth. Punaravartino Arjuna. So there is no escape. Even after death, if you enter hell and heaven, Gandharva Loka, Aditya Loka, Brahma Loka, Mahar Loka, Jano Loka, Siddha Loka, etc., etc. If you enter after death, different dimensions, you stay there till your punya, your that virtuous effect of the deeds are completed, and again you have to come back. Even if you enter Brahmaloka, you have to come back to rebirth. So you can't escape rebirth cycle. That's what Arjuna, you must remember. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, up to the Brahmaloka, even if you enter, you have to come back for rebirth. Again, you have to take birth. But same Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. In the 8th chapter, he says, the same Krishna Paramatma tells Arjuna in the 8th chapter, Mamupetyatu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. Adre nodappa Arjuna, ನೀನು ನನ್ನನ್ನೇ ಹೊಂದಿದರೆ, ನನ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ಐಕ್ಯನಾದರೆ, ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಐಕ್ಯ ಹೊಂದಿದರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅರ್ಥ. ನಿನಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮವಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಂಸಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಮರಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀನು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನೇ ಹೊಂದಿ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪನೇ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಮಾಮುಪೈತ್ಯತು ಕೌಂತೆಯ, ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಾದ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿದರೆ. ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮನ ವಿದ್ಯತೆ. ಸೊ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಸೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಗೈನ್ 8th chapter, chapter number 8, look Arjuna, if you merge in me, if you totally merge in me after death, what happens? There is no rebirth. Na punaravarta. You don't come back. You don't enter back into the cycle of life. Na punaravarta. Arjuna. Punarjanmana vidyate. Punarjanmana vidyate. There is no rebirth for you. No rebirth for you. That is what Lord promises in Bhagavad Gita. Same thing in Chandogya Upanishad, Mahaswami writes, taking Mahavakya, one line phrase of Chandogya Upanishad. Mahaswami writes. In Chandogya Upanishad, what? there is a repeated famous statement, Nacha punaravartate. Nacha punaravartate is the last phrase of the long Mahavakya, where it means he will not come back to samsara. He means here a Brahmajnani, in an enlightened soul, a realized Mahatman will not come back to samsara. Chandogya also says it. So these are the points what Mahaswami takes from there and then substantiates in his bhashya for this shloka. Nabhoyaha kalpase adhvane. You will not come back, Acharya says. When realization occurs, when you become a Atmajnana, when you become enlightened soul. Next shloka. Chayeva pumsah paridrushyamanam abhasa rupena phalanubhutya shariram aratta shavavat nirastam punarna sandhatta idam mahatma. Chayeva pumsah paridrushyamanam abhasa rupena phalanubhutya shariramarat shavavat nirastam punarna sandhatta idam mahatma. So here, what Acharya says, ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನೋತ್ಪತ್ತಿಯಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ ಮಹಾತ್ಮನೇ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಥವನಿಗೆ ದೇಹದ ಮೇಲಿನ ಮಮಕಾರ ಮೋಹ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನಾಶವಾಗಿ ತಾನು ದೇಹ ಮನ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ತಾನು ಕೇವಲ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪನೇ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪನೇ ಆಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಎಂಬ ನೇರ ಅನುಭವದ ಮೇಲೆ ನೆರಳಿನಂತೆ ತನ್ನ ಈ ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಈ ದೇಹ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಶರೀರ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಶರೀರವನ್ನ ಶವದ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾನೆ, ಕಳೆಯವರದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾನೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಶರೀರ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಶರೀರದಿಂದ ದೂರ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಮಾನಸಿಕವಾಗಿ. ಇದು ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲವೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಒಂದು ಶವ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿ ಇಂದಲ್ಲ ನಾಳೆ ಬಿದ್ದು ಮರಣದಿಂದ ಬಿದ್ದು ಹೋಗಿ ನಶಿಸಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಮರಣ ಬಂದ ನಂತರ ಈ ದೇಹ ಈ ಶರೀರ ಸುಟ್ಟು ಬೂದಿಯಾಗಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಭೂಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಭೂ ಸಮಾಧಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆಗೆ ಮಣ್ಣಲ್ಲೇ ಮಣ್ಣಾಗಬೇಕು, ನಾಶವಾಗಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಶರೀರ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ ಆ ಅನುಭವ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆತನಿಗೆ ಆ ಶರೀರ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಶರೀರ ಮೋಹ ತೊಲಗಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ, ಶರೀರ ಜ್ಞಾನ ತೊಲಗಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ, ಆ ಮೋಹ ತೊಲಗಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಈಸ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್. ಇದು ಈ ಭಾವ ಇದೆ. ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಛಾಯೇವ ಪುಂಸಃ ಪರಿದೃಶ್ಯಮಾನಂ ಆಭಾಸ ರೂಪೇಣ ಫಲಾನುಭೂತ್ಯ ಶರೀರಂ ಆರಾತ್ ಶವವತ್ ನಿರಸ್ತಂ ಪುನರ್ನ ಸಂಧತ್ತ ಇದಂ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ. ಪುನರ್ನ ಸಂಧತ್ತ ಇದಂ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ. ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಶಬ್ದ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಹಿಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ, the one who has realized what Acharya said, the one who has realized, one who has become a vidwan or a jnani, a tattvavid, a samadarshi, one who is enlightened, one who knows his Atma Swarupa. He is the Atma Swarupa, he is not the body anymore. He is not the body-mind complex anymore. Then he perceives this body at that highest state of enlightenment. He looks upon the body, his body, physical body, along with the mind and other parts, other divisions of Antakarana. He looks at the body-mind complex as a corpse, a dead body. Shariram aratta shavavat nirastam. Shavavat nirastam. Shariram aratta shavavat nirastam. He looks upon his own body as a dead body. Shavavat phrase, the key word here, Acharya is using. He looks upon his own body as a dead body. It's a corpse. Why? Because he knows he is no more this body at all. After the death, the body either it is burned to ashes or if it is buried into the soil where it totally decomposes, decays, and finally everything goes away, it becomes nothing but dust particle. So Acharya calls this body as Shavavat. It is like a dead body. So for a jnani, his own body is like a dead body. He is not concerned with this body. Very difficult to digest these points for all of us, at least for some of us. A jnani always considers chayeva pumsaha paridrushyamanam abhasa rupena phalanubhutya. He knows that because of prarabdha, the birth has occurred. Because of the previous birth prarabdha, the body has come. Jnani knows. So the body has to sustain, it has to live till the allotted time, ayushya pramana. Till allotted time, the body has to live, it has to grow, it has to decay, it has to enter old age, and all the diseases will crop up in the body. Body becomes weak, senile, almost immovable. Then it is on the deathbed, and finally it will die. He knows, Jnani knows. So the body is there because of prarabdha, because of ayushya. So like a shadow, the body is there, but he knows he is not the body at all. He has disconnected himself mentally, but he is moving in the body. A jnani is moving, he is living, but internally, totally he looks upon his body as a dead body. Shavavat nirastam. He knows today or tomorrow the body will go away, the body will die. It's not permanent. That means what Acharya is telling, ultimately the key point we have to remember here, a jnani is no more attached with the physical body and mind complex. He is no more attached, totally detached internally. There is no attraction anymore about his own body. The ego has gone. Ahankara is gone. I am this. The status has gone. I am that. I am that. I am this. I want this. I want. All the desires have gone. Mind has become pure. Gunatita. It has become Shuddha Sattva. Mind has become Vishuddha Sattva. So, where is the attachment to the body? A jnani is no more attached internally, but he behaves normally from the standpoint of others. When others look upon a jnani, they don't see the difference between them and a jnani. Jnani also walks, jnani also sits, jnani also eats, jnani also has to go for urination, jnani also has to defecate, and he will have problems in the body. There will be diseases in the body. He behaves like any other person. So a jnani, onlooker, will not find any difference at all by looking at a jnani. Internally, jnani's mind is stabilized. Totally is unmoving, unbothered, totally unbothered. Because he knows. He knows the truth. He knows that he is no more the body. So that is a point. So, Punarna sandhatta idam mahatma. Punarna sandhatta idam mahatma. Acharya says. That means, na sandhatta idam. He will not accept this sandhatta. Na sandhatta idam. He will not accept his body as himself. He discards internally, detaches himself from the body-mind complex. That is a point. That is a point. He totally detaches himself from the body and its actions and its repercussions and the prarabdha. He knows it goes on. According to the prarabdha, the body will live and survive, will enter into old age and diseases and all weakness and everything. He is no more bothered on that count. I don't know how far I'm able to convey all these points, but Acharya Shankara Bhagavatpada is mentioning here about a jnani, how he behaves. What is it? That is the significance of Atmajnana. A jnani, in other words, is beyond dukkha. Dukkha nivrutti is the main phala of Atmajnana. Dukkha nivrutti, the suffering less mind, is the result of Atmajnana. Janmarahitya sthiti is another important phala of Atmajnana. No rebirth is another important phala of the Atmajnana. So there is no rebirth, and jnani is unperturbed. He always stabilizes himself. There is no more me and mine concept in the mind of a jnani. Only when the ahankara is there, me concept comes in. We all are controlled by the ahankara and mamakara. Me and mine, me and mine. See, these two are gone. There is nothing like specifically, individually me concept in the mind of a jnani, or mine. These people are mine. These are only my family members. Others are not. So such thing is the jnani is, the whole world is his own play. Vast consciousness play. He sees the world. All entities are him only. He will see him only in all the entities. So there is nothing like only me and mine concept. Totally he is devoid of me and mine concept. He is devoid of ahankara and mamakara. These are the points. So he will not accept. There is total detachment. That's what Acharya last line says. Punarna sandhatta idam mahatma. Punarna sandhatta idam. This body, mind, complex, na sandhatta mahatma. The jnani, mahatma, will not accept this as mine. No more he will accept this body as mine. No more he will remember this body as my body. So these are the points we have to remember here. This is shloka number 4112. By the grace of the Sankalpa of the Guru, I am stopping here. Shloka number 4112. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. 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 Hari Om Tattvam Nama Bhagavate Virajeshwara.
Hari Om, sir. Sir, one question I have for mortals like me on the Sandhagda part. So essentially, there is also a saying that you need to treat your body as temple so that you can pursue sadhana. So the key word here I understand is detachment, which is the hardest to get. So you need to take care of your body, though you treat it as a dead body.
Exactly. See, this is exactly what is called Adhikara Bedha and Sopana Krama. You are right. Every point in Adhyatma, Vedanta is important because at the high school level, that knowledge is essential. At the college level, the higher knowledge, when you take up, this knowledge becomes a background knowledge of high school. At the PhD level, the degree level knowledge becomes a background because you go into the higher dimension. You are absolutely right. All Mahatmans, at some point in their lifetime, in their Upadesha, they have said body has to be taken care. Correct? Absolutely. No doubt in that. There is no disambiguity at all. No confusion. Body has to be taken. Why?
Because our viewers should not start neglecting their body today.
As long as the jnana dance in at the highest level, then only what Acharya is telling, once you become a Brahmajnani, then only all these things will be understood. You become detached. Till the last point, attachment is there. till the last point, all these things we have to take care. Absolutely, you are right, Kailashji. Body is a temple, it has to be taken care, because without the proper body complex health condition maintained, you don't do sadhana. You can't do sadhana. You can't do paropakara. You can't do your purushartha. You can't help others. See, there are so many levels of our work distributed for ajnanis till the reach. So to proceed in the adhyatma spiritual point, in the spiritual journey, all these things are very, very essential. So body is a temple. Body is a temple. But the highest point is the jnani is not attached internally. Internally, jnani is no more attached. Externally, they all behave like you and me. Correct?
Yes.
So when there is summer season, they don't wear winter clothes. And when the heavy winter, we have to wear winter clothes. When there is a health problem, we have to take medicines, and they will also take medicine. We will also take. So in that sense, body is a temple. Yes, there is no ambiguity at all, no confusion. I don't know whether are you following this point?
Absolutely, absolutely, sir. No, I wanted that to be clarified for our sadhaks who are following here, that they should not get the idea that you should totally
Yeah,
ignore your body and your health. That is not the that's not the message of the Bhagavatpada. Bhagavatpada, what he's essentially saying is,
that is
at,
exactly. See, that
beyond
is why
all this.
even today, I'll give example. Even today, when Bhagavatpada mentions Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Mithya, hours together we can talk. See, in the Dvaita philosophy, people who believe in Dvaita Siddhi, even today, Mithya means how this world can be unreal.
Yes.
We are seeing it. You are different, I am different. How can Kailash ji is equated to me? Number one. And how I can be a Parama Purusha Narayana Vaikuntavasi? How I can be equated to Sriman Narayana in Vaikuntaloka? Narayana is different, I am different. I am only a human being. Narayana is a Parama Purusha. Even today they say, Hari Sarvottama Vayo Jivottama is their Siddhanta. And they don't accept Advaita. And not only that, they may differ from Advaita, but they start hating Shankaracharya. That is the point. They hate Shankaracharya. They use all epithets to Shankaracharya. And they look down Smartas as if they are very superior. We are superior, Vaishnavites. These Smartas who wear Bhasma, they are inferior. They are not even Brahmins. Even today it is. See, that's why definitions are very difficult to perceive. Mithya, what he explained, Acharya is in a different context.
Yes.
Compared to the original Brahma Padartha, which is eternal and changeless, as it is, this change, transformation, in that sense. See,
And we
but
should not stop paying bills because it is Mithya.
we don't hate Madhvacharya, we don't hate Sri Ramanujacharya, all Acharya Prayas. For us, Siddhantas are different.
Every star is a star for us. No big star, small star.
I think you understood. Body
Yes.
is a temple. Yes, it has to be. Without that, Sharira Matramidam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam.
Correct.
That is a statement of our Vedas. The body is given for Dharma Sadhana. Dharma means not just moksha, all the four purusharthas. See, all cannot be jnanis in this birth. So, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. See, majority are in the three only. Dharma, artha. They're all purusharthas. For that, body is required. It has to be maintained. You have to follow Pitru Dharma, you have to follow Pati Dharma, we have to follow Putra Dharma, we have to follow Raja Dharma, we have to follow Vaishya Dharma. See, body is important. Nobody will deny that. I don't know whether Kailashi, I am whether ನನಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ.
ನೀವು ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ ಸರ್. I just wanted to put your clarification in the context that people who listen to your discourse today, especially today's discourse, they should not say, okay, our body is done. I don't want to take care of the body anymore.
Right. Please, I request you, include this in the,
Yes, yes,
don't
it is included, sir.
delete,
It is
no,
included. It is
so
included.
that they, I think, as you
Yes,
rightly
so
said,
that the context is gotten, and people should not say, okay, I am the Avadhuta now today. I don't want to take care of my body. What is this body? This is Nashwara. So only Atma is Nashwara. Body is Idu. I will neglect the body from here on. No, that is not the intent or the purport of what
yeah, yeah.
Bhagavatpada has.
It is like, my Gurudev was giving a simple example. You remember that example? When a elephant is, with hormonal discharge, it has become wild, running helter skelter. The fellow sitting on the elephant, difficult to control, Mauta, he's shouting, "Give way, he's going to kill you." And this fellow, the Shishya comes in. Just now he has heard Advaita philosophy. Everything is Brahma. Elephant is also Brahma. I am also Brahma. He goes in front of it. Elephant will thrash him out. He will get totally. That is the same thing. Body is important. Verbatim, no, we should not take over. That is the highest.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for clarifying that. I just, for people who are mortals like me who have these questions,
Don't
this
say,
needs to be
don't say.
clarified.
Sometimes I feel my inability, to give clarification
No, sir,
correctly,
this is
like all Mahatmas.
beautifully
My
explained.
vocabulary is limited.
Because I see people like Gurudeva and my own Guru, though they have attained this samadhi state, they have not neglected the body. They could have
Nobody.
neglected the body anytime.
Yeah,
After
nobody.
their
Nobody will.
enlightenment, they could have neglected the body anytime, or they could have even given up the body. They
That,
did. They have not.
yeah, that happens only in very rare few cases, as we call Brahma with Varishta Sthiti. That is Turiya state, the seventh plane of jnana, where we really, they're called avadhutas, like Sadashiva Brahma. Not bothered, like not at all bothered
Right.
about
Yes.
the
About
body.
how
So
we dress, look,
even
eat.
food, even the
Yes.
dress.
Yes.
See, that is that seventh plane of jnana, sapta jnana bhumi, last one.
And we have heard of such avadhutas also existing, and we have read so many
So that is
stories about
different.
such.
See, they are also jnanis. Our guru is, but our guru is wearing the cloth. He has not discarded it. Like that. Hari Om.
Hariom, sir, I took more of your time. Please
No, no,
forgive
no,
me.
no. No. It's a very lively enlightenment for me also.
Sir. Shri Rama
All
Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Shri Rama Jai Rama Jai Jai Rama Om Hari Om Tat Sat Hari Om Tat Sat